Is this for real? Why did they ban the Novaria? There's already an Atlas. There's already a Zushin. I don't know if there's a misban or anything because you already have the mid and the roam. So where else would the Novaria go? Unless FUT just has some crazy strat like, I don't know, Novaria Gold?
Wait, that's true, yeah.
I mean, Tezet is known to have his, you know, very
out of the box
interesting picks.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
if you know, you know. This is the guy who brought up like a Kufra jungle back in the day as well for High when he was coaching Aura Season 8, Season 9. So you can expect a lot more crazy picks here from FUT.
Well, Claude has been banned out. Bricks, the last ban here coming in from Mongols.
Isn't it crazy to see that the Claude is banned all the way and the Marcel as well towards the end? When we were talking about it backstage, we were talking about Marcel Claude being first phase picks.
I mean, like, look at Mongols pick. Paquito, the Gord, Hirara is the new one, but I don't know. I still think the opener is pretty good for both teams. FUT a little bit less for me.
I know we talked about like cheese strats and best of ones, but I never expected it to be this kind of...
Maybe it's not a cheese. Maybe this is their perfect strat, because let's put this into context, right? Both of these teams are the favorites because they've done it before, right? They faced each other before, and now they're batting out the Obsidia. The Hive is still open, but maybe that's not a concern for them.
I guess not. The Moscow's a great pick. They need someone to just deal a lot of damage, but also not be reliant on just a cycle of skills. The Harrow is a pretty good choice, but I think I like this a little bit better, you know? Just constant DPS coming through, and then the XP later, I think is going to be a damage one. We've seen that matchup.
It has to be.
The Arlet fits.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't see if they really want to set up a box still with this kind of draft. Because they have very high mobility heroes, maybe apart from the Gord.
Oh, wow. Even the Grok comes in here.
What?
Wait, was it a Grok? I mean, the Grok... I guess the Grok just showed himself.
If they want to go fast, Mongols, I do want to see if they have a very early roamer, like maybe even a Cho, so that you can evade. But again, going up against an Nakai Zushin, kind of not the best of idea. Grok Ranger.
Huh.
A skill-based marksman hasn't been working that well unless you're a Harv. So very interesting to see how this Ranger is gonna play out.
Yeah, it really just seems like Mongols have taken FUT Esports' aggression, right? Because it's all about snowballing in the early game here.
I would like to use on, but I don't know if that's in their repertoire.
So this is assuming the jungle and roam already, right? So it is the EXP that we're looking for, despite the Novaria ban.
Maybe even Benedetta wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
A lot of damage EXP should work here. Like, you have a Zushin, a Kai, and an Atlas. You kind of don't need any more defense.
Yeah, it's not the best matchup against the Paquito, unless your name is Balvinuya, one of those guys. But
don't fight the Paquito. What's so hard about that?
Exactly. I mean, a lot easier said than done. They go for just even more CC. They're just trying to overwhelm the Mongols with crowd control. Man, look at the amount of crowd control they got.
I mean, like, personally, my thoughts, in the first phase of that turtle, as long as no aggression happens in the first 2 minutes, I feel like FUT has got it, especially if the Sora just dives in with the lightning form. They should have enough damage and heal to secure that turtle. With that being said, we're going to be throwing it over for Mirka and Brigida to cast this game, Mongols against FUT. You guys got this.
Thank you so much, Lafel. We are now officially heading into the first best of one that we're having here in the wild cards of MSC 2026. A lot of surprises, especially as we came into the draft, approaching the second half already. Surprised to see the Hiraras, even the bans heading into the second phase were a lot of surprise for us, but man, how are we feeling about this? It's a lot of crowd control on the other side, and a team fight that could get just really messy on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking on paper, I definitely got to side with FUT on the drafts, man. It just seems like this is the standard that what we've seen, you know, the standard from what we've seen from our own leagues as well. But Mongols, again, they're coming into the best of one thinking comfort. We've seen a lot of that. We've heard a lot of that word recently in interviews as well.
I'm so curious if Zixora already considers the Hirara as comfort, though. Like, for you to be confident enough to pull it out in your first series. Oh, speaking of,
it was pretty comfortable on it so far, but this is the problem without the Hirara early on. Once, well, where you don't have cooldown, it's going to get really tough. XC burns out the flicker, tries to go in, but the Lantern Flare knocks Ox up. It's going to be consumed with the rotation as well. Ox, he's going to have to flicker out to safety. Psyche, no mana to take him down.
What do we say about Mongols wanting to be the more disciplined or careful team? That seemed like a very brawly start to this game number one. Well, understandable. That's one of the more common rotations you're seeing, especially considering that they're still sticking with a quote-unquote assassin jungler. I think you'd consider the Hirara an assassin still. But then FUT, they were so aggressive to fight back. That was a flicker burned by XC early on.
Yeah. They really wanted to get that kill early, man. They really wanted to stop the snowball from happening here for Zixora. Great start to the game for FUT, I'd say, man. Again, with the Hirara, you're just constantly going to have to take it in an early game. You're not going to have enough cooldowns to just spam your skills. But look at this rotation quickly into the bottom lane. They're playing that strong side, as we mentioned. Zixora zoning RX. Retri even going to go for the kill. RX has to flicker out early.
Survive that. But then it seems like Mongols had their eyes set on the bottom side of the map. Could this be the approach? They do not want to fight FUT Esports in terms of objectives, considering that that's an Akai, and he's already an entire level ahead of Zixora because of that rotation.
I love the approach, though, you know? It's kind of like Mongols know that FUT will have the lead early on when it comes to neutral objective battles, so they try to go for the strong side. Gold lane K, helping him out. A lot of damage plays down with the perfect match. It'll force out a flicker from K, but I think that should be it.
Yeah. Mongols are quick to sense that there could be something happening right after that objective take. Look at Kazue. He's just showing himself. Still, the level gap exists. And they are going to be in the slight advantage against FUT, but K, no flicker left for K!
Yeah, the problem with the strong side gold lane is if you leave him, yeah, the hard CC and tanky voice are just going to get him out. No flicker, as you mentioned, Brigida. It was just such an easy kill, and they didn't even need to use any ults aside from the SOD.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bloodspit really use that Fatal Links just yet. Not even the heavy spin, because there was no contest whatsoever to that objective that we saw. And now they take half of the energy shields down bot. RX is having a really good time. Ox doesn't have level 4 yet.
But look at Zixora. Again, something that we kind of know from him is that he is very sporadic. He knows how to think on the go, and he's already seen that rotation go straight up top, plays with the strong side that he has in XP to take the orange buff, and this means Kazue is going to be behind in XP despite getting Turtle 1.
Oh, that was quick for Mongols to catch up, and now it's FUT who's just mostly staying down bottom. They get to find Ox isolated here, though.
Lantern Flare. Oh, the perfect match. Even a body. Oh, wait a second. Kazue with a heavy spin. Straight up.
The Spear of Misery kind of helped him there, too.
Yeah, that was a bit of miscoordination.
So I feel like this time we'll see the EXP laners actually be part of this upcoming fight. Let's see how it goes, because Mongols this time might actually contest. But we're seeing Zixora just starting to make his way.
Zixora.
There is no heavy spin, though.
Oh, Psyche popping Crimson Beacon. Good shifting Clouds and a pickup as well on Mumu. As it lands, great Mystic Gush with the knockup with the Tectonic Charge. Zixora gets a kill on XC. And it's RX trying to run away now, as that's going to be the cutoff as K rotates over Mumu. Takes Bloodspit out, and it's a free neutral objective for the Mongols.
Okay, FUT probably did not want to be in that position. They just made things so much easier for Ox and Mikey. Mikey didn't have to put himself out there in danger to use that Mystic Gush, and that was a quick way to just use the Tech Charge. Now it's Mongols stealing away that small lead that FUT had earlier.
And Mongols are just using that aggression so well. They're forcing FUT to play those team fights. But you got a composition to play neutral objectives. You can't be brawling early on, and a few of those abilities.
Yeah, I think it's Mongols who's capable of finding those kinds of pickoffs in the mid before the objective, rather than FUT. FUT might want to just really fight the objectives head on, and especially considering that earlier they did not have the heavy spin. We mentioned it, but they still decided to go for the fight.
Those cycles are very important, especially for FUT, because if you don't have the shifting skies, oh god, wait, Makey. Good projectile, man. So much poke coming on. Psyche. Zixora steals a camp away from Kazue. Panda's walking up, though. He's very tanky.
This is interesting because I feel like Mongols, their lineup doesn't really require you to just go full commit. They're fighting it with range because of the Granger and the Gourd. And the ability of both the Paquito and the Hirara to just go in and out is helping them so much and just baiting out stuff from FUT Esports. Okay, gotta be safe. But going back, FUT, I feel like this time, they're the ones struggling to find their footing. Like, when are they going to come into a fight? And when are Mongols actually going to fight back? Or when are they just baiting them out? Because they are capable of doing that.
I don't know. Right now, it just seems like Mongols have FUT's number. Again, they're going to use a Lantern Flare. Perfect match on Ox. If they can bait out the Tech Charge, that'll be big for them. And actually go for the heavy spin. The Tech Charge comes around. And a flicker out. Psyche! Crimson Beacon, the SOD lands. It's Psyche with a kill. Mumu into the mid.
Okay. Oh, now that's a Fatal Link set up!
Great call into the shifting skies. Now Mumu picked up as well. Zixora in the midst of it all trying to go damage some of those members, but XE zones them away, and this is a FUT win. They go to the turtle, the last one of the game.
It's interesting though, because it still feels like they used up so much just to get those small wins, when in fact I felt like it would have been easier for them considering the amount of crowd control and how low effort this draft overall could have been for them. But at least they've got that advantage just now and are able to convert it into a structure up top.
Zone, good zone.
But I can't believe it's been 7 minutes before we actually see that happen, because they're with the Moskov all this time.
Yeah. I don't know about going all in on Kazue. They just going for a bit of poke. Zixora with a rotation in mid. Psyche taking up a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like the fullest potential you could see from Zixora. Just
Wait,
but
what?
he's trapped!
Yeah, Zixora way too far. Gets caught in the Fatal Links. Thrown back to the rest of FUT.
I think that's the second time we saw a favorable team fight just because of a mistake.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Hirara though, right? Like once you have enough cooldown, you just think you're untargetable. You can just make those risky plays happen and it just bites you back.
These team fights need to be a bit more calculated, I'd say, for both sides. Oh, that's going to be a setup on Ox.
Yeah, they took the tectonic charge. There's no Fatal Links, but they're going to get the pickup. Ox, no flicker. This should just be a free kill as Kazue knocks him up and picks up the kill.
That's happened twice now. It's been successful. We do see some, I'd say, quote-unquote, questionable targetings and priorities in terms of the recent team fights. But because of that, the back and forth has been on for so long. Like, we barely see a significant lead in this fight.
Yeah, and it's still so surprising, despite, you know, the last two team fights going in favor of FUT, that Mongols are actually still ahead in gold. They've been farming really, really well, and it's been because they have had better control over the side lanes, which is weird to hear, but there you go. Mumu with the knockout strike. RX gonna cut him off with the help of Blotsfet. He's already used a perfect match. Lord is spawning in the bottom lane. Mumu. Yeah, he's just gonna get chain CC. The Spear of Misery pins him down. He tries to get out with a flicker, but the Lantern Flare is on him. It's a Sky Piercer as he goes for the Crimson Beacon. Makey caught in the bad spot. SOD lands in the back. RX gets a Spear of Misery, pins him down, goes under turret, and it's all fed to the Sky Piercer. And Maniac for Psyche. Could we see it a Savage on day one, match one? Ox, can you escape? The Lantern Flare is on him. Psyche gets a Savage on day one of the wild card.
Day one and game one at that. We're seeing a Savage in as early as that. And can I just say, the ones who were the more aggressive in that team fight and the ones who put themselves up front were not Blotsfet nor Kazue. It was just really RX and Psyche. They knew that they were that much ahead. They knew that they were in that kind of advantage, just with Mumu out of the picture. And now it's an immediate objective for FUT. It's interesting though. Okay, let's see that instant replay. Psyche, my god.
I don't know, it was kind of also Mongols though. They did not need to back Mumu up all the way there. No one saw that. Don't point it out. No. Why you step back? No, man. No one saw that tech charge, alright? I can't even make Pikachu jokes anymore.
This is why we are saying that there needs to be a bit more calculation from their part. It demands so much more just because of the kind of draft that they decided to go with. Now, FUT, this is where we expected them to be. This is exactly how they played this out. The amount of crowd control, actually in that recent team fight, they didn't even have to use much of it just because they were just going all in terms of the damage. I feel like that's another thing. You feel a lot more of the damage coming from this tanky lineup of FUT rather than of Mongols at this point. So they're really making sure that they're using it to their advantage. And at least for now, Mongols are defending and weirdly enough, still in the lead.
Yeah. I think it's not that accurate. Blotsfet, though, goes with a perfect match. They're trying to go for the zone. Psyche, an absolute monster, brings Mumu back. And it's a flicker burn down. Ox
again
goes for the tech char. Oh no! You hate to see Fatal Links from Blotsfet! Gets him down. K! Oh no! Psyche gets another double! A disaster for the Mongols as they're gonna have to take 3 of their members out and about as just Zixora and Makey left to defend.
This should be full stack Sky Piercer for Psyche, right?
Oh yeah.
So that just explains why you could barely get out alive once you're in that kind of position if you're the Mongols. This is very tough and risky if you're the Mongols. With very little crowd control and just mostly Ox, and by the way, it's always been Ox that they've been targeting first, I could barely see an opportunity for the Mongols to turn this around with a team fight win.
Yeah, it's composition that really relies on them winning out early game, you know, snowballing out of control and then relying on their individual flair. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but we've seen 2 Brock ultimates go.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They
out
always...
Right? It's landed on.
I thought you didn't see that.
I didn't see the first one.
Okay.
But then the replay showed me. LaFell saw all of it.
Yeah, I really want to know how LaFell feels about everything right now because it's just day one, game one, but Well,
he has a thumbs up.
Is it a thumbs up?
Yeah, if you've watched Project Hail Mary, that's a good thing, right? Like, yeah.
We get to talk to him later, but for now, we gotta really talk to the Mongols and FUT, maybe especially the Mongols, and how they're really dealing with everything right now. Let's take a quick look at the items. Okay.
It's not.
It's not.
Let's just talk about the game. The Lord spawning.
Okay.
And that's not the new Lord, you know? The new Lord, like, it kind of gets players to
diva.
go for the Lord.
Diva.
Yeah. It's like, now as a player, I want to go for Lord. 13-3, now we see the actual goal lead. It is, oh, I don't know if this is comebackable. We've had that term, geekable. Do you think it's geekable?
Well, I, at this point, could not see it coming for now. Like, even Ox, they've just been very aggressive. Psyche, this is where you really want to see your Juicin come to play. He's the one in charge of all the zoning right now. It's like Blotsfest will just go in for a late entry and surprise everyone.
Ooh.
And that's the last thing you'd want to see if you're the Mongols.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all of their flickers are still intact. You could already imagine what kind of game-ending plays they could attempt to go for with this Lord.
Let's give it to the Mongols a bit. They do have clear. I don't want to say if it's good or bad. They got clear with the gourd.
They have gourd.
But then I look at the Granger and it's like, yeah, you're not that good at clearing. The Hirara is like, she's bad in, oh god, no damage to Exy as well.
I'm looking for the damage too, but...
Maybe you just look at different things when you look at the Hirara, you know. Exy trying to walk off. They're going to go for the mid lane siege here. Oh, RX is piercing through that turret onto Ox and K. And base turret down below has already fallen.
Okay. Blotsfest looks like he wants to do something. But let's see. They still have to clear out the waves.
Yeah,
oh, he's already below half HP.
Oh, Fatal Links onto back both of the frontliners and they get caught in the heavy spin. That's the pin down immobilization already. Zixora gets away, but Psyche's just tearing them apart. Zixora's trying to gap close now. He goes immobilized. Oh, but Psyche is unkillable. Picks the Hirara up. Zixora's walking up again, trying to go for the clear again. Untargetable for a bit. But it's still Psyche just zoning all of them and they've lost no members.
Okay, they're still dealing with it. Sora and Kay still left to defend. Still have an entire wave to deal with, but Sora is down. Kay back in the fountain, but what can he do? It's just gonna be a game number one, or the only game in this best of one. Going over to FUT Esports.